In this live self-defense training video, you're gonna learn 5 self-defense techniques using your walking stick for self-defense. Before we start with the strikes, I want you to put your hand in the middle of your staff or your stick. I'm using a Joe martial arts staff, but it's the same thing as a hiking pole or a walking stick. You can train with this, and then I carry this as my walking stick, but you can carry any walking stick. All the techniques work. It's important to do a proper warm-up. You're just turning from side to side. You're gonna do that for about 30 seconds in one hand. This is also going to start to build power in your grip. Strong forearm, strong elbow, strong shoulder, so you can hold on to your walking stick when you do the 5 self-defense techniques using the walking stick for self-defense. After one hand, you put it in the other one. Same thing, super simple. This is just a warm-up technique. Build power in the forearm, get a stronger grip, learn how to defend yourself using your walking stick. After you've done that for 30 seconds, I want you to do another turning motion. This is more of a spin where you're creating a figure 8 with your thumb. You're carving one circle here, going side to side. What that's gonna do when you hold it toward the top is put the long side in his face. Now this is not necessarily a self-defense spin, but if this is the threat, I can use that first part of the spin to bring it up along the side of his face for self-defense. Now this isn't one of the 5, this is kind of a bonus move, but I want you to do this to continue to warm up and to get power in your grip while learning how to strike using this basic move. Once you've done that for 30 seconds, put it into your other hand, put that foot forward. The motion again, if you think about using your thumb, is a circle on one side and a circle on the other side. Put them together, that's the infinity sign, or a sideways figure 8. Your stomach's up and in, your other hand is always up. Tuck your chin so you don't get knocked out as you do this warm-up move, spinning side to side. Now you should be properly warmed up. We're gonna get into the first strike, which is just lifting your elbow. Imagine that you got a phone call, you have your hand on your phone, you pick up your phone, put it on your ear. That's all you're doing, is lifting it up. Another thing you can imagine is striking, hitting the tip of that elbow up under his jaw for self-defense. But you're gonna hold your staff with your elbow bent, so you have a little bit coming up from the ground, a little bit on top. As you lift that, the bottom of your walking stick is gonna strike him hard and fast, right between the legs, right in the groin. As you pick that up, that's the first basic strike. Now, he might be reaching for you. You can smash that arm. You might reach out and smash him in the chin, break his teeth in his mouth for self-defense, but just lifting this up. Rick said he's using his 36-inch. These all work with a 36-inch walking stick and higher. You just adjust a little bit where you're holding it. If you had the 36-inch, you'd reach down a little bit, bam, pop that up, smash him right in the teeth for self-defense. So you bring this up, practice that motion first. That's your first of 5 self-defense techniques using your walking stick for self-defense. And I want you to practice it in both hands so that you become ambidextrous in your self-defense training. So 30 seconds on the right, 30 seconds on your left. We're gonna add to it so we build a striking 5-strike combination so you can practice this combo. Standing behind your walking stick, you're gonna lift it up, put the other hand on the front. After you hit him in the groin or in the chin, the other hand is here, and now you're going to spear coming right through his face. See how you've extended your front arm? You're extending your front arm and you're pushing with the back arm. Pushing with that back arm, the front arm is directing it right to his face, right to his eyes, to his nose, to his teeth for self-defense. Maybe in the throat, in the solar plexus. Maybe you're coming down and striking him right between the belly button and the private parts for self-defense. But you're gonna hit him one. Number 2, reach in with that reverse thrusting strike. So you're just striking in this way. Practice those in combination. Lift, thrust, lift, thrust. Do that 30 seconds on one hand, 30 seconds on the other hand. The question is, Noah's Ark says, is it okay to make contact with the forearm? Absolutely. The more contact, the better in self-defense. If you happen to break the teeth down his throat for self-defense or break his jaw or hit him in the temple and knock him out with that elbow as you come up, that's okay because he's trying to hurt you. He's trying to take your life, your dignity, your freedom. You're allowed to defend yourself It's your God-given right. If you happen to hit him with that elbow, more power to you. Bring this up, thrust, and practice that for 30 seconds on one hand, put in the other hand, same thing, start with that lifting technique. The other hand gets it real quick. When you have two hands, you have more control of your walking stick. You're more powerful in your strikes. So you bring this up, smash here, lift and thrust. From the side, you just bring it up, grab it, and push. Now the third strike, you're gonna lift it up, thrust, your front hand will slide toward the end of your walking stick. You don't have to go all the way to the end. I'm using this Joe staff. If you wanna see, this is made out of hickory. It's extremely strong. It works really well as a walking stick. I use it when I go on hikes. You bring it up, thrust, your hand slides down. But if you want to see what a Joe staff is, how long, how thick, and all that, it's the first link below. Bring this up, thrust, slide, and then pushing as you come down. Think about smacking him right across his face. I want you to get this thought in your head, not fear. You take the fear that's in your head from him attacking you and turn it into indignation, like, how dare you try to hurt me? And you just smash your hand across the side of his face. Bring this up, thrust. When you slide this hand down and you smack him across the face with this backhand, you're actually pushing against your walking stick, sliding along, and that accelerates the strike and makes it a lot faster and a lot harder. You're gonna strike him right here, knock him out for self-defense. Or maybe strike him in the neck. That'll also knock him out. Hit him in that shoulder, break his upper arm. Bring it down into the ribs, down into the legs for self-defense. So you have 3 techniques now out of the 5 techniques for self-defense using your walking stick. Bring it up, thrust, slide, push. You're pulling with this front arm. Think about smashing with that fist against the side of his head for self-defense. As you smash him here, you're also pushing here, and you keep this far away. You've got good distance. Using a walking stick for self-defense is great because you have a reach advantage, especially if he has like a knife or a bladed weapon. You can keep him back, hit him between the legs, push him between the eyes, slide this front hand down. See, I'm also pulling. You're gonna pull this back a little bit and then pushing forward. Now your hands are not gonna come together. If they come together, you'll create a pivot point and you'll lose control of that swing. It's gonna be hard and fast, but you'll lose control of it. That's kind of a baseball swing. When you do this kind of a strike, you stop with some distance between your hands, about the width of a fist, so that you can bring it to a stop and stay behind your walking stick for self-defense. You want this between you and him. So you have 3 strikes now. Snatch him up, thrust through his face, slide it down, come against the side of the head, knock him out for self-defense. Once you're here, we're gonna add the 4th strike. This front hand will lift back out a little bit, and the back hand is going to come forward like a punch right in his face. And as you do that, again, you're gonna push against your stick as your hand slides in, and this is gonna smash against the side of his jaw, breaking his jaw for self-defense, or maybe into the temple, into the neck, into the ribs, into the arm, into the legs. So now you have 4 out of the 5 self-defense strikes using your walking stick for self-defense. Bring it up, thrust, pull, smash, reach, push it through. And as you push it through, you're keeping the length between you and him. So he's all the way over there. This is 54 inches. I'm gonna snatch it up between his legs, push it into his eyes, hit the side of the head, the temple, bring this back, come through his jaw for self-defense, pushing through this way. So you practice, it's in your backhand, lift, thrust, slide, push, pull it back, thrust, punching through here, and all you have is one more technique for self-defense using your walking stick for self-defense. Now these are 5 out of hundreds that you could come up with, or I don't know, 50 or 60 that I could teach you, right? Because I don't know all of them. Lift, push. You could watch an episode of The Walking Dead and get some techniques from Morgan as he's sticking his Joe staff through the zombies' faces or whatever, if that's your kind of thing. But you're gonna step behind it, lift it up, thrust, pull, strike, punch. Now your front hand is gonna go back to the very end of your walking stick, and you're going to take your back hand straight up. See how your elbow's up? Now you're under it, kind of like a roof. This gives you some protection. This will actually block. As you pull your front hand down, you're going to push again with that backhand, like a big hand coming out of outer space to smack him down for trying to hurt you, to take something from you, to try to steal your dignity. You're going to bring this down and crack the middle of his forehead for self-defense. From here, striking straight down. Now you have 5 of the 5 self-defense techniques that we're covering in this workout. Lift, thrust, angle strike, horizontal strike, vertical strike right down on the top of his head. And again, stopping so that the stick is between you and the threat. Look how far away he is. If he has, let me see if I can pull this off. If he has a bladed weapon, oh, it's too far. If he's got a knife, I was gonna show you, I've got knives all over the wall there, but I can't reach him. You bring it up, you know what, I'm gonna grab this one, hold on. This one isn't as long, but it's pretty long. It's, what, 13 inches? Look at the reach difference. He's got that in his hand. I know you have to imagine it, right? And then you have this. You're all the way back here. He can't reach you. You can reach out and touch him with a heavy piece of hickory for self-defense. So you lift it up. You're going to thrust, striking to the side of the head, break the jaw, lift it up, down on the top of the head, lights out, fight's over, you win.